Day two of the NFL draft is in the books. The Packers have surprised a lot of people. We'll break down the two picks they made and look ahead to day three on today's episode of the Daily Packers Post. Hi, everybody. I'm Gil Martin. Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We have new episodes dropping every day, Monday through Friday. And this weekend, we will have episodes every day as we give you in-depth coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft. The Packers surprised a lot of people on day two. First of all three players they've selected so far, offensive players. And that has to be a little bit of a surprise to a lot of people. With their second round pick, 54th overall, they went for offensive tackle Anthony Belton out of NC State, 6'6", 336 pounds. This is a big man, not known for his speed, only a 5'2", 640, but he is strong. He is very physical at the point of attack, and he has 35-inch arms, long arms, which scouts like. He's so big, his nickname is Escalade. Now, basically, he spent a year in junior college at Georgia Military College and then transferred to NC State and started there for 3 years at left tackle. His specialty is the zone blocking scheme, which is the way the Packers like to block for Josh Jacobs and the other running backs on this roster. He has good footwork, and that makes him a really strong run blocker and a good fit in the zone blocking scheme. And here is a guy who plays with a little bit of a mean streak, and he loves to count pancake blocks. In 3 years at NC State, 51 pancake blocks for Belton. So, here's a guy who just loves to compete, loves to beat his opponents and make them look bad. He does still need to work on his technique. That is kind of typical for an offensive lineman, especially one not drafted in the first round. Needs to work on his technique with his hands, where he places them. He sometimes will lose a little bit of balance as a result of the way he positions his hands. Also committed 8 penalties in each of his 3 years as a starter in college. Needs to cut down on that a little bit. And in 2024, he was ejected from a game in September for spitting on an opposing player. So a little coaching and a little maturity, and he could probably take his game to the next level. He was a left tackle in college, but some scouts say he's better suited to be a right tackle or maybe even a guard in the NFL. It'll be interesting to see where Matt LaFleur and the coaching staff put him. And again, we know the Packers like versatility along the offensive line, and Belton may be able to provide them with more of that. Then with the 87th overall pick, their third round pick, Savion Williams was the choice. And I got to say, Williams, 6'3", 222 pounds, ran a 4.4, 840. He is a running back / wide receiver. I guess wide receiver would be his primary position, but he is really an athlete. He runs hard. He is a strong runner, and he does have the ability to make people miss. In college, he played wide receiver, occasionally lined up as a running back, even took snaps in the Wildcat as a quarterback, and completed all 3 of the passes that he attempted. Essentially, the coaching staff tried to make sure he got the ball in his hands because of his athleticism. Williams, by the way, already married as of December 2023, and he and his wife have a young daughter who was born with a heart condition which required surgery when she was just a few months old. Thankfully, she is doing well, but that is certainly something that would have a big impact on anybody. And Williams, has a lot of responsibility even at this young age. And yet he has demonstrated leadership. He wore the captain's C in college. So he has maturity and leadership, and that hopefully will help make him a positive influence in the locker room. And his production improved each year in college, which kind of shows A, he's coachable, and B, he is determined to get better. And I expect that Matt LaFleur will dial up some packages and plays just to get Williams the ball in his hands. He may not play, even half of the snaps, but on offense, but whether it's jet sweeps, reverses, option passes, draw plays, screen passes, they're going to try to get Williams the ball 5, 6, 7 times a game and keep defenses off balance. And that role should only grow as he learns the offense. Now, he does need to work on running more precise pass patterns and the ability to disguise those patterns when, opposing defenders are trying to cover him. So those are things, again, that if he's coachable and he can learn, he can maybe take that to the next level. So as I said, all 3 players, offensive players so far in this draft, 1 offensive lineman and 2 receivers, which is a little bit of a surprise. Got a question. We know Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are in the final year of their entry-level deals. Will they get a second contract? It kind of looks like they're being challenged here to earn that second contract. And we know Watson's going to miss at least half the season as he rehabs from knee surgery. So the Packers certainly getting 2 receivers as insurance. And, players like Mecole Hardman, the recent free agent signing, Bo Melton, Malik Heath, they're going to have to battle for roster spots now that we've added 2 receivers in the first 3 rounds of the draft. Looking ahead to day 3, there are still some positions of need, especially on defense, that Brian Gutekunst hasn't addressed. No defensive linemen, whether it's on the edge or in the interior. They were hoping to get more pass rush from the defensive line. That hasn't been addressed yet. And cornerback hasn't been addressed yet. Will they trade Jair Alexander on day 3? I think that is the most likely time for them to do it, but we'll see if it happens. And we could also always see that day 3 quarterback, maybe some more depth on the offensive line, and then best player available, always a possibility. Also would not be surprised at all if at some point on day 3, Brian Gutekunst trades back in order to add a couple of more picks. So maybe, he'll trade the 4th round pick, move back 5 spots, pick up an extra 5th or 6th. Always likes to take more shots at the apple, especially on day 3. Don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com, where we'll have in-depth articles 6 days a week covering your Green Bay Packers. Hit the like button and subscribe. We will be back tomorrow to break down even more of the NFL draft, especially day 3. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching the Daily Packers Post. And of course, go Pack Go.